is allotted. Two shlokas are there for consideration, and the first one is talking about yam hi na vyathayante ite. Vyathayante na chalayati chanchalata. One who is not disturbed, or best word is perturbed. One who is not perturbed, one who remains equipoised. Gurudeva used two words, both are very important. One is calm endurance and mental equipoise. This calm endurance is not only an endurance, the adjective, Visheshanam, is calm endurance. What calm indicates is the state of chitta. When chitta is peaceful, that means no vrittis are arising. All those who have been attending to Yoga Shastra would understand better that events and incidences have happened, objects have come into the purview of the senses. However, they have been only noted on the chitta. Chitta has not responded to that. In that case, things keep happening, but they do not create any impact or effect on me, because me, who is nothing else but the chitta, has already separated myself from the things that are happening. So I am not letting the observation through the senses converting into experience. Experience is vritti. So anubhava, vichara, both are vrittis. Since the chitta is not subjected to that, whatever happens outside, both pleasure and sorrow, they do happen, they are noted. However, it does not create any flutter, any vritti on the chitta. So it becomes vritti rahita jnana sambodhanam. And the example is not very difficult to take. In our lane where we stay, somebody meets with an accident and we are watching it from our balcony. How do we look at it? We just look at it that, somebody met with an accident. Oh, there could be some pain. What has happened is we observe everything, but it hasn't created or it hasn't evoked the kind of emotion that it would evoke had it been my personal experience. That body was somebody else's body, not my body. That accident happened to the another body, not my body. This is how we look at it, and it doesn't bother us to that extent, apart and cursory observation remark that we make. In case of realized people, Jivan Muktas, same thing happens with their own body. So the way we look at the other accident, they look at their body's accident in the same way. So somebody slaps them, he said, oh, the body got a slap. This separation is mental equipoise. Equipoise means nothing is happening. Everything is at equal Sayyama Avastha. Equipoise is Sayyama Avastha. And that is why both in pleasure and pain is a condition necessary for right knowledge. So that means one thing is sure. Are we here to study Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, whatever? The purpose is very simple, to know the true self. And if you want to know the true self, there is an entrance examination called endurance. So come what may, we have no way to complain about it. I can't, I will not. No, you ought to practice it. So calm endurance, vritti rahita jnana sambodhanam, is very important. That is why Swami Ramatirtha Maharaj used to say, हम है राजी उसमें जिसमें तेरी रजा है, इधर भी वावा है उधर भी वावा है, कर भला तो हो भला, आखिर दरवेश की सदा क्या है. What difference does it make? Now that to say is very easy. We say it in a very, very different manner. We get disgusted with what is happening with us, and then we say that क्या करना, जो होना है हो जाएगा, जो होना है देखा जाएगा. No. This is a wailing, lamentation, paridevana, lamentation coming from a person who is asahaya. Jnani is not asahaya. He has strength in him, that is why he endures. We endure because of helplessness, not to endure by helplessness. To face it with the sunny glow of knowledge, as Gurudev calls it. Then Gurudev has given a couple of things here which are worth doing mananam for umpteen number of hours. Gurudev says, naturally in the early Upanishads, the supreme achievement was deathlessness or Amrutattva. Although it may be interesting to note that the later Upanishads, it became birthlessness. Definition of Amrutatvam, from deathlessness to birthlessness, is a progression of philosophical thought the way it has evolved into Upanishads. Not that the earlier Upanishad seers did not know birthlessness, but the emphasis shifted from deathlessness to the birthlessness, which itself means to be away from whatever is samsarati, samsaraha, from prapancha, prakarshena panchatvat, whatever is happening, to be away from it forever. And that is why, what is samsara? Gurudev immediately says it is nothing else but field of experience. Lokyate bhunjate iti lokaha. Gurudeva says finite experiences. And finite experiences says death not only indicates the destruction of physical embodiment, but also includes and incorporates within its significance entire range of finite experiences. All experiences are finite, fundamental principles. The reason, because all experiences are vritti on the part of chitta. All vrittis are waves on the ocean, so every wave that goes up like a crest has to come down like a trough. So no crest can remain crest, no trough can remain crest. These days will also go. Experience. And that is the reason why moment the experience is created, it is enlightened. That enlightening date is Brahma. The experience, it lasts for some time, it is maintained for that time by Vishnu. And the experience destroyer, the principal deity destroying the experience, one who is Lord of destruction, is a Mahesh or Shiva. Extension of experience. In fact, that is the reason why we pray to Shiva saying that, please Lord, do the Tandava and end my experience once for all, so that I am out of this experiential world into the world of Anubhuti, which is Aparoksha Anubhuti. And that is why, if you see the Shiva Tandava Stotram, it clearly talks about the same Tandava that we are talking about. Dama 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 Ninada Damarvayam Chakara Chanda Tandava Tanoti Nah Shiva Shivam. Chakara Chanda Tandava, hey Lord Shiva, your Tandava Tanoti Nah Shiva Shiva. Let that Tandava to come to me. For what? Extinction of experience. The Lord is to be propitiated for destruction of experience simply because it is the experience or the vritti or the thought that is the cause or the curse with which I am suffering from the embodiment. But at the same time, it is not meant for everyone. Gurudev has given hint that it is not meant for Mahajano yena gatha sapantaha. Mahajanon ka path hai. Only Mahajanas can follow it. Not the Janas, not the ordinaries. Extraordinary Mahajanaha. That is why he says it can be achieved only through special training. Gurudev used the word special training. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. And for whom it is, Gurudev says, fit only for some rare few to pursue. Some rare few to pursue. Gurudev was English. For some rare to pursue, no. From few to pursue, no. From rare to some rare few. Ati durlabha. And that is why he says, at the same time, those who want to achieve this perfection, to evolve oneself to it, one must make use of every little chance in one's own allotted life. So Gurudev is giving a dire warning. Every little chance in one's allotted life, because you don't know how much life is allotted to you. Sureshji Maharaj was giving example of Ramakrishna, saying that thing in Bengali, which is basically a Kabir Bhajan. Ramakrishna was many a times he used to sing Kabir Bhajan, and that bhajan which he referred there was Avduta Gagana Ghata Gehrani. Pachima Disha se ulati badali बह निसरेगा पानी, उठो ज्ञानी खेत संभालो बह निसरेगा पानी. Plant your crop and take the harvest. Why? The water may flow. Gagana gatha gehrani. By great fortune you have got this body. And that is why Kabir Maharaj again says, Cheto ab cheto. Fire up yourself. Cheto ab cheto divas tere near aana hai. Very few days allotted life. कर से कर राम नाम, मन से कर, मुख से कर राम नाम, कर से कर दान, वाही दिन आवे काम जाही दिन जाना है. So the rarity of such a person, some rare few to pursue, अति दुर्लभ क्षूरस्य धारा निशतया durgamastata pathakavayo vadanti kathopanishad. And that is why Gurudev again says, little aspiration, exasperations in his life, which are essentially life's nature. Exasperation is life's essential nature. Gurudev has hinted directly to the first cardinal principle of Buddhism. The world is full of sorrow. Our problem is the first principle itself we don't agree, because we are trying to find out the happiness here. In the darkness, there can be no light. In the life, there cannot be sustained happiness. Why? The nature of the life itself is exasperation. And then to waste our life in complaining against, brooding over, despairing for, complaining against, paridevana, lamentation, brooding over, kulaya nilayascha, and despair, vishad. What else is there? Our biography can be written only in 3 words: complaining against, brooding over, despairing for. There's nothing else left. Why? We are fully immersed and drenched in life. And that is why Gurudev calls it the shameless waste of life. About whom is he talking? Everybody has to ask this question to yourself, oneself. Am I living shamelessly? And a shameless person cannot approach Gurudev. Why? Because we should have a shame as a shameless person to approach Gurudev. तन की चुनरिया धूमिल मेरी हो गई, साई को कैसे रिझेबे? How can I go and please or make happy Gurudev with this dirty clothes that I am wearing? So shameless waste of our life. Equanimity. Gurudev says, equanimity should not flow from the dark caves of one's stupidity and inertia. हमारी बात हो रही है. He's talking about ourselves. What to do? जो आएगा देखा जाएगा. अब देखो अपने पास तो कोई choice है नहीं है. प्रारब्ध में लिखा हुआ है. All this is basically painting the arguments with the colors of philosophy. It does not make a rusting iron gold. Not possible. Gurudev says it must gurgle forth from open sunny fields of wisdom and understanding. Samajh ki, realizing the life the way it is, then looking at it in a neutral manner. That is why Gurudev was saying that, oh, the world is like this, don't worry about it, is a different thing than we saying, oh, the world is like this, simply because we are helpless, dark creatures of tamo guna pradhurbhava, feeling helpless and defeated. That is not what it is. Only the so-called sunny fields of wisdom and understanding. And then Gurudev says, how do you go for it? Fired by a sentiment of love or hatred, we invariably make ready sacrifices of bodily pleasures. Fired by sentiment of love and hatred. That means Gurudev is giving the importance to the word fire. In one of the interviews, he has very clearly mentioned Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, that Siddhartha was a stupid little chap prince who did not know what death and what old age is, how ignorant he was. Only when he was fired by the sentiment that he should find out the reason or the cause for these conditions, then the Siddhartha becomes Gautama Buddha. Everyone is nirbuddha in the initial stage. Only when fired by this ability, fired by this sentiment of me finding out the cause of everything, Nanayar, Koham, who am I? When that fire comes into the picture, that is the time then we become from nirbuddha to prabuddha and prabuddha to Buddha. When one gets fired up intellectually by some idea or ideology, Gurudev called Mahatma Gandhi as a Mohandas, nothing. For him to become Mahatma, he was fired by an ideology of sentiment of love. Vaishnava janato tene kahi pira parai janare. Firing up from that angle, and then you overlook the comforts and pleasures of one's body and mind. Sardar Patel's example was given. A person who was smoking cigars in those days and traveling in a car and was a mayor of Ahmedabad, earning tons of money as a lawyer, leaves everything fired by the sentiment of intellectual fire. And that is why, to the extent to which he is capable of standing apart from his own physical, mental, intellectual modifications, he can be successful. Gurudev is given very clear understanding that Whatever is happening, oh, I spoke so beautifully today. Away from that, I am not the one. My name is this, I've got up with in society, they call me. No, I am not the one. I am not good, I am not bad. I am not what you think. I am not what even I think. I am different than what I think. I am definitely different than what others think. And that is why I need to know who I am and cling to that. And know who I am, I must start moving towards who I am. This movement from what I am not to what I am is in Sanskrit, in Vedas, called Sat. The word Sat has come from Sa and Ta. Two varnas are there. Sa comes from Shru. Shru is sprout, Srujana. Shru, Ta, Tamam, and the combined word is Shrutam. Shrutam means that where we keep on moving, keep on propelling towards, that is Sat. This movement from Asat to Sat, from the one who I am not to the one who I am, is Sat. And that is why na asataha vidyate bhavaha. Na asataha vidyate bhavaha. Why? Asataha is vikaravasha. Acharya in his commentary, even a little, whenever Acharya gives more than one page commentary, the shloka becomes critical. This shloka has 2.5 pages commentary. He says, Vikarahi saha. What is this? Vikar. Why? Changing. Vikarahi saha, vikaraha cha vyabhicharati. Vyabhichar is the adhisthana of vikar. Change, and change is nothing but perverted version. Perverted version is vyabhichar. Vikarahi saha, vikaracha vyabhicharati. And this is all play of what? Sat asat. In fact, Sat Asat is not outside, it is in the buddhi. That is why Shankaracharya in the commentary of this shloka said, Sat Asat buddhi. Yad vishaya buddhi na vyabhicharati tad sat. Yad vishaya buddhi vyabhicharati tat asat. Sarvatre dve buddhi sarvaihi upalabhyate samanadhikarana. Everybody who is born is given samanadhikarana. Consciousness is same everybody. It is the dve buddhi, sat asat buddhi. And to know that asat buddhi is not real and sat buddhi is real is to know that nasato vidyate bhavaha na abhavo vidyate sataha. Now once this is known, ubhayorapi drushto. Ubhayapi drushtaha antaha tu anayot tattvadhi to tattvadarshibhi, the knowers of the truth. Now Gurudev has given here so many beautiful comments because he says it can rise only out of an intellectual grasp. So pehli baat to ye hai ki to know what is Atma, Anatma, Sat, Asat, what is required, only intelligence is required. Nothing else is of use. I am an extremely good bodybuilder, sir. It cannot help you in knowing the Sat and Asat. I am a very intelligent person because I scored so many marks and got admitted into the best university. Sorry, sir. That knowledge is of no use. Why? The intellect required for this is a different intellect with the sharpness of having ability to capture the abstract thoughts into the mind through the purity of heart after meditating upon a subject is called buddhi, because there the buddhi, our buddhi is buddhi because it is normally employed into the laukika jnana. For the paralaukika and alaukika jnana, the buddhi has to immigrate from the status of buddhi to medha, medha to pratibha, pratibha to Rutamara, because then the expansion of this sharp and penetrating memory slowly becomes capable of taking the glimpse of the Atma Tattvam and taking the whole Atma Tattvam into the folds of itself. The buddhi has to transcend itself, which is the last part, as described by Gurudev as intense heat of white meditation in Kathopanishad commentary. Gurudev has talked about it. These two categories, real and unreal, are not considered as indefinable. Now, this is one statement. Gurudev has given a very slippery statement here. Read the statement. The two categories are not considered as indefinable in our ancient scriptures, though they do not declare these to be definable. What do you mean by this? Gurudev is saying Sat and Asat is considered to be not considered to be indefinable. At the same time, they say that it is not definable. What do you mean by that? ना व्याख्या हो सकती है, ऐसा नहीं कि व्याख्या नहीं हो सकती. It is not that it cannot be defined, but it cannot be defined. What do you mean by that? Gurudev is precisely hinting at Kenoparishada, where it says, Anyat evatam viditat adho aviditat adhihi iti susrum purvesham nachastad vyacha shakshire. Anyat evatat viditam adho aviditat adhi. From whatever it is known to you, you cannot know that. And from whatever you know, from there also. So whatever you know, whatever you don't know, both cannot help you to know that. If this confusion is not enough, Kenopanishada further gives one shloka, which is the most difficult shloka to understand. Na aham manne suvideti no na vedeti vedacha yonas tad veda no na vedeti vedacha. Now this particular shloka, I'll just giving the meaning in English and we'll understand how difficult it is. I do not think I know it well, nor do I think I know it not. He amongst us knows it truly, who knows this, that, nor do I know that I know it not. This is enough to confuse us because this requires enormous amount of elaboration. All this has been told by Gurudeva in this statement when he says the two categories are not considered as indefinable in our ancient scriptures, though they do not declare these to be definable. Now, Sato Vidyate Bhavaha, this shloka is a shloka of Mananam. This is a shloka where a lot of thinking is required. And that is why Gurudeva is also referring here in the commentary. There is a reference has come to the Karika. That which was not in the past, which will not be in the future, but that which we seemingly exist only in the present is called unreal. Sat, Asat, Vilakshan. This is the word used by Shankaracharya. Sat, truth, Asat, not true, Vilakshan, but still felt. That's what we are really in the life. That what we call real is Sat, Asat, Vilakshan for the one who is in Turiya Avastha. That Karika Shloka. In the second Prakara, Mandukya Karika, it is called Vaityathya Prakarana. Vaityathya name itself means illusion. That entire Adhyaya is dedicated to illusion. Illusion of what is illusion? The world. Gaudapada Maharaj says, world has not existed. What are you talking about? But whose is this? It is like a wake-up person, the person who is awake, who says, where is the dream? Honey, I had a dream. But it is not true. It's gone. Exactly same thing happens to the Jivan Mukta when you talk about the world. He says, where is the world? From the standpoint of Turiya Avastha. But then you say, sir, you also feel it. Look, your skin, my skin. Then he says, no, it is Sat Asat Vilakshan. That is why the Vaityathya Prakaran is what is pointed out by Gurudeva. Then Gurudeva says, every little experience at all the three levels of our existence, among the objects, with our sentiments, and in the company of our ideas is finite. Gurudeva's again BMI chart has come into the picture. The B, the M, and the I is not me. The B and the M and the I is not me because all of them are finite. The body changes at every minute, the mind evolves, and the intellect grows. See, body has, what Gurudeva is saying, body is changing. That is Shadvika. Mind evolves. Intellect grows. And then after growth, what happens? Does it keep growing? After growing, it grows to a level where he appreciates the truth or the self, and thereafter the buddhi dies. The mind evolves and becomes so premamaya that after that only love exists, the mind is dead. Because these three are jadas. The object, the mind, and the intellect is nothing else but the jada. Once the Chetana Tattva is abhibhuta, all the three are gone. And that is the reason Gurudev says, consciousness remaining the same, endless experiences come under it, got illuminated and died away. बजी चाहे अतफाल है दुनिया मेरे आगे, होता है शबे रोज तमाशा मेरे आगे. This world so called is every morning and evening, it is happening in front of me. I am not a part of it. Jatatavi Galat Jala Pravaha Pavita Sthale. It is nothing else but the consciousness from the matted hairs of Shiva that has come down and Pravaha Pavita Sthale. Galeva Lambe Lambitam Bhujanga Tunga Malikam. The Vishaya and the creation and everything is nothing else but the Bhujanga, Vishaya and Visha and Sarpa and Bhujanga. Everything that is created is bound to spread, spreading and producing. That is Maya, Bahuprasava. But it is enlivened because of what? From what is flowing from the matted hairs of the Shiva. And Shiva, it is you who destroy everything. That is why Damar, 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 Ninada, Damar Vayam. Chakara Chanda Tandavam Tanoti na Shiva Shivam. Let your Tandava come to me so that my all finite experiences are extinguished once for all. And then what remains? Only the Pavitra Pavitam Sthale, the only Ganga, the consciousness remains. I shall be a part of your Ganga on your matted hair, O Shiva. That is called Shiva Tandava. Shiva Tandava has to happen with our experiences. If it happens, then what remains? You become one with the Tandava. One with the Tandava means you become Shivamaya. And Shivamaya is Shankara. Because what happened? Then your Kalyanam is done. Shamkaroti iti Kalyanam, Shankaram. This is how two shlokas take us to practical aspect of what we should be doing. So henceforth, anything that is happening around me has nothing to do with me. Wait, virus comes, bacteria comes, Lord comes. Lord comes, nothing to do with me. Why? Even Ishwaras also, not one Lord, all Lord of Lords also are inferior to the Atma Tattvam. So irrespective of anything that happens, Siddhis, Ishwara Tattva, Adhikaritva, bad things, good things, what, nothing. Why? I am the one who is only one, Advitiya, Vibhurvyapya. Once I am that, where is the question of me getting compared to anything in terms of anything? Power, Shakti. I am the embodiment of Shakti. Shakti flows from me. Jnanam. I am Jnana Swarupa. Anandam. I am Ananda Swarupa. Nothing is now left to be achieved. That is the final aim in the allotted time that Gurudeva is talking, of which a lot of allotted time has been already wasted. The allotted time was very well realized by only few people, by Swami Vivekananda, by Gurudeva. By the age of 30, 35, everything was done. And allotted time was utilized beautifully. Our allotted time, 45, 50 is already gone to waste. There is no virtual difference between the animal and ourselves till the time we went to Vanaprastha. In another 10, 15 years from now, we will not be able to get up from our place. So the time allotted is so small, of which the buddhi also by grace of God and my prarabdha, our buddhi is so jada, nothing goes inside the head. So you can look at the odds that we have. What do you mean by odds? You'll have to have your effort duplicated 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. That means abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate sat sat vairagya. And then to keep that sat asat, because you keep falling. After sthala kala tyaga, moment it happens, we forget everything. That is why to keep it constantly alert, we will have to do it again and again. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Hari Om.